Okay, so the agenda of this video is to do question number 3 to question number 10 of exercise 6G. All the problems that I've done, they are taken from Selena ICSI Board class 9th January 2020 edition. I've already done question number 1 and question number 2 in part 1 of the series. In this series, I'll be doing question number 3 to question number 10. And in part 3 of this series, I'll be doing question number 11 and question number 13. From question number 11 to question number 13. See, the level of word problems in this exercise is complex. So that is why I decided to do 3 parts of this exercise. I'll request you to have a look at the part 1 of this video also. I'll mention the description below. In part 1 of this video, I had mentioned that solving two-digit number problems is a bit confusing. So in detail, I had explained how to tackle these two-digit number problems. So let's start. So the next question is question number 3. 7 times a two-digit number. Again, the two-digit number, what we'll assume is xy. 7 times a two-digit number. So 7 times two-digit number is equal to 4 times the number obtained by reversing the digit. So is equal to 4 times the number obtained by reversing the digit. As I've told you already, here xy is not equal to x into y. It is equal to 10x plus y. I hope you are clear. So I can write this as 7 times 10x plus y is equal to 4 times 10y plus x. I can write this as 70x plus 7y is equal to 40y plus 4x. I can write this as 70 minus 4 is 66x is equal to 40y minus 7y is 37y. I hope this is clear. 70 minus 4 is 66 and 40 minus 7 is 37y. y minus 7y, small mistake. This is equal to 33y. So this implies that y is equal to twice of x. Now this information we have got from our equation number 1, the first line. The second line says, this is basically line number 1 of the word problem. The second line says, the second statement says, if the difference between the digits is 3, find the number. Now my number that I had taken, this number that I had taken was xy. So the difference is 3. Difference is 3 means that x minus y is equal to 3. It can also means y minus x is equal to 3. Now if you understand the logic, that in a two-digit number, either both the digits, they are equal, so it can be a number like 55, or it can be a number like 65, or it can be a number like 56. So these are the 3 conditions which are available. This is not true. When we have considered xy, we need to understand that if x is greater than y, then this will be true, and if y is greater than x, then this will be true. But how do we make out that which of these conditions is true? Let us take an example to further illustrate. Let us take an example of a number like 45. Now 45, if I reverse the digit, they become 54. Now 45 and 54. So I need to multiply 45 by 6 and 54 by 5. 6 into 45 is 270. 5 into 54 is 270. What am I trying to illustrate here? I am trying to just tell a simple fact that a bigger multiple multiplied by a smaller number is equal to smaller multiple multiplied by bigger number. I hope you see the logic. 6 is the bigger multiple, 5 is the smaller multiple, 45, let me change the color. 45 is the smaller number and 54 is the bigger number. So the bigger multiple into smaller number is equal to smaller multiple into bigger number. How is it useful for us? It is useful for us if we look at this statement. 7 and 4. So 7 is our bigger multiple. This is a bigger multiple. 4 is the smaller multiple. Bigger multiple will require smaller number, and smaller multiple will require bigger number. That means xy is the smaller number and yx is the bigger number. That means y is greater than x. This is the case where you can have numbers like, say for example, you can have numbers like 37 and 73. Say for example. So 73, if you see, this is greater than this. Therefore, when this becomes greater than this becomes the smaller number. I hope you are getting the drift. So in our case, this is true. Y is greater than x. So if y is greater than x, I can ignore this. I have to take this. So this is my second equation. I'll suggest that if you haven't followed, just rewind and look at this logic again. So this is my equation 1 and this is my equation 2. So y is equal to 2x. Y is equal to y. This is 1. I can write this as 1 dash. Okay. I have reduced 1 to 1 dash. So y is equal to 2x and y is equal to x plus 3. Just need to solve this. It is obvious that 2x is equal to x plus 3. X is equal to 3 and y is equal to 6. So the number that I had assumed is xy. So the number I had assumed is 36. And this is what I was trying to tell you. Now let us see. The number I have is 36. Reversing the digit, it becomes 63, and that is what I was trying to tell you, that this is the smaller number. This is the bigger number. The smaller number 36 requires the bigger multiple 7. See, and the bigger number 63 will require the smaller multiple 4. If you try to multiply them, 7 6 the 42, 7 3 the 21, 252, and 4 3 the 12, 6 4 the 24, 252. I hope you get the logic. You can see this question again, you can see this solution again, so that you understand the logic. Let us move to the next question. From Delhi station, if we buy 2 tickets from for station A and 3 tickets for station B, you can ignore this, and 3 tickets for station B, the total cost is 77. But if we buy 3 tickets for station A, 5 tickets for station B, the total cost is 124. What are the fares from Delhi to station A and station B? Now again, look at the last statement. So assume that from Delhi to station A, the fare is rupees A, and from Delhi to station B, the fare is rupees B. Okay, let us make the equations. If we buy 2 tickets for station A, that means 2A, and 3 tickets for station B, that means 3B. This would be equal to 77. The second equation, if we buy 3 tickets for station A, so 3A plus 5 tickets for station B, this will be 5B. The total is 124. So this is my equation 1, this is my equation 2. I need to solve these. So let us solve these 2 equations. This is a relatively simpler question. I'll write the equations again. 2A plus 3B is equal to 77, and 3A plus 5B is equal to 124. I'll solve these equations and I'll have the answer. Yeah. Now let me explain what I have done. I multiplied the first equation by 3, the second equation by 2. I got this equation, I got this equation. Then I subtracted. This got cancelled. I got minus B is equal to minus 17. Now what is B? B is my ticket to station B from Delhi. So this will be 17 rupees. And using this value of B, I put this value of B in this equation, my equation 1. I solve this and I get value of A. So B will be rupees 17 and A will be rupees 13. I hope it is clear. Again, you can check this by using the information. So 2 tickets for station A, 2 tickets for station A, and 3 tickets for station B. If you want to check, so 13 to the 26 plus 7 3 the 21 and 51, your answer is 77 rupees. So this is correct. I hope it is clear. Let us move to the next question. Again, digits. The sum of digits of a 2-digit number, again xy. The sum of digits of 2-digit number is 11. Therefore, x plus y is equal to 11. See, what you need to remember in word problems is that every line would help you to make a statement, to make an equation. So, if you don't understand the question once, read it twice or thrice so that you are able to make right equations. If the digits, so my number is xy, just remember this. If the digits at tens place is increased by 5, okay, so this was my original number. If the digits, this is my units place, this is my tens place. If the digits at tens place is increased by 5, so this becomes x plus 5, and the digits at units place is decreased by 5, so this becomes y minus 5. The digits of the number are found to be reversed, So this new number which will be formed would actually be equal to yx. Just keep watching this, and once this question is finished, try to look at the solution again, then you will understand it fully. Okay, let's start. So let's start. Now we have increased this by this, the number xy, the number is xy. I have increased the tens digit by 5, and the y digit I have decreased by minus, I have decreased it by 5. So my new number is x plus 5 y minus 5, but this number is actually equivalent to the number formed by reversing the digits of xy. That means that this number and this number, both of them are equal. So this means that 10 times x plus 5, because it is the digit at the units place, plus y minus 5 should be equal to 10 times y plus x. I'm again requesting you that just keep watching this. We'll have the answer, and you can have a look at this problem again with the help of the answer, and then you'll be able to understand this question well. This will be equal to 10y plus x. So 50 minus 5 is 45. 10x minus x is 9x, plus 45 is equal to 10y minus y is 9y. I can take 9 as common, so this will be equal to, now this is my second equation. My first equation was x plus y is equal to 11. This is my first equation. I can subtract these two equations, minus minus minus. This will become 5 minus y equal to y minus 11. This will become 2y. This will become 16, because 11 will go this side. Therefore y will be equal to 8. Consequently, x will be equal to, x plus y is 11. So if y is 8, x is equal to 3. So my number is 38. Now let me explain to you this question with the help of the final answer that we have. And now you'll understand what I was trying to tell you. See, this is my original number. This is my original number. I have increased the tens place by 5. This has become 8. This units place is decreased by 5. So this has become minus 5. This has become 83. Now 83 and 38, they are reverse. This is the equivalent of saying that this number was xy. I decreased this by 5, so this became y minus 5, and this became x plus 5, and consequently my digits got reversed. That is, this became y and this became x. Now you can compare what I have done here with what we were discussing here, and as I've been requesting again and again, just rewind and see the solution again. If there are any missing steps, if there are any missing things that you were not able to understand, you will be able to understand once you revise the questions. Okay, next question is 90% acid solution. 90% acid solution implies 90% pure acid and 10% water. Okay, and 97% acid solution are mixed to obtain 21 liters of 95% acid solution. Okay, this might seem a bit difficult question, but let's try to simplify this question. Let us assume that I have two beakers. Yeah, just try to imagine that you are in chemistry lab and you have two beakers like this. Now you mix these two beakers and you mix the contents of these two and you get this. And let us try to see what this question is saying. Again, 90% acid solution. So this is a 90% acid solution and 97% acid solution. So this is 97% acid solution. These two are mixed to obtain 21 liters. So this volume is 21 liters. And the concentration is 95%. How many liters of each solution are mixed? As I have told you earlier also, that focus on the last statement of any word problem, and whatever is being asked, you can safely assume that. So for example, if they are asking how many liters of each solution are mixed, I'll assume that X liters of 90% and Y liters of 97% is mixed. Now, as is obvious that if I mix X liters of this and 2 Y liters of this, of course I'll get X plus Y liters of this. I hope this is clear. See, what you do is pretty simple to understand. You have milk. Let us assume you have 1 liter milk. And now this is milk. And let us assume that, okay. Let us assume that now this is milk. And this is water. Let us assume this is 2 liter. Now when I mix these, of course I'll get 3 liters of a solution. I'll get 3 liters of milk plus water solution. Basic common sense. The volume should be equal. This will be 3 liters. So now as per our question, this X plus Y liter, is actually equal to 21 liter. So one equation that I have is that X plus Y is equal to 21. This is in liters and this is my equation 1. Okay, now let me focus on equation 2. See, equation 2 is will involve a bit of thinking. It's not difficult, but it will involve a little bit of thinking. Let me try to explain it to you. Now 90% solution. 90% acid solution means that 90% is acid and 10% is water. Yeah. So the equation which I can form here is, equation that I'll form is 90% of X. What is X? X is the volume of solution in this beaker plus 97% of Y. What is Y? Y is my solution. Y is my solution in this beaker. This whole would be equal to 95%. 95% of the solution in beaker C, which is the beaker C which is formed by mixing A and B. So this will be 95%. 95% of 21 liter. Of 21 liter. I hope this is clear. This would be the acid equation. This will be the acid equation. If you have any doubt regarding this, let me take some time and try to explain it to you. See, let us look at this definition. What is a 90% acid solution? 90% acid solution means that, say I have 100 liter solution of this concentration. Yeah, that means that pure acid will be 90 liters. This will be pure acid, and 10 liters would be water. I hope you are getting the drift. 90% acid solution. In case I take 100 liter of 90% acid solution, this means that in 100 liters of this concentration, 90 liters of pure acid will be there and 10 liters of water would be there. Now, if I take, just take this argument further, if I take 90% acid solution of 1 liter solution, I have a 1 liter solution, volume is 1 liter. Now in this bi-unitary method, 9 by 10 liter will be acid, will be pure acid, and 1 by 10 liter would be water. I hope this is clear. And if I take X liter solution of 90% concentration, this is concentration. This 90% acid solution is actually the concentration. You will study about this in chemistry also. So this 90% acid solution of a X liter solution will have 9 by 10 X liter of pure acid and 1 by 10 liters of pure water. This will be pure water, this will be pure acid. I hope you are able to understand this. This is a bit tricky concept. Again, I'll keep requesting you, just have a look at the video again whenever you are not able to follow the logic. Okay, there's a small mistake here. This will be 1 upon 10x liters of water. So using this logic, what I have found is that in X liter solution, pure water is 90 upon 100, which I have mentioned here. Therefore, if I have y liter solution, if I have y liter solution, in y liter solution, y liter solution is solution whose concentration is 97%. So 97% of y liter solution, which is the solution B, I'll write here solution A, I'll write here solution B, and this is the solution which finally gets formed. This is our solution C. So in this x liter solution A, amount of acid that I have is 90% of x. In this solution B, amount of pure acid that I have is 97% of the volume of the solution. Volume of the solution is y. So this is actually pure acid in solution A. This is pure acid in solution B. These two mix together to form this solution. This 21 liter is actually solution B, and if you see the concentration of this is 95%. So this amount is actually the pure acid in C. Tricky question, I'm repeating again and again. So this is my equation number 2. Now I have two equations. One equation is this x plus y is equal to 21, and the second equation that I have is 90 upon 100x plus 97 upon 100y is equal to 95 upon 100 into 21. The simplest thing that you can do before solving this equation is that you can cancel 100 from left hand side as well as the right hand side. So the simple equation that you will get is 90x, let me write it here, 90x plus 97y would be equal to 95 into 21. 95 into 21. And the simplest way, this is the equation number 2, and the simplest way of solving these two equations is that take the value of x and put it here. So this is how it will look like: 90 into 21 minus y plus 97y is equal to 95 into 21. Try to solve this. Now see, this is how I have solved it. 90 into 21 is 1890 minus 90y plus 97y is equal to 1995. 7y is equal to 105. Y is equal to 15. Once y is equal to 15, therefore x is equal to 6 liters. This is 15 liters. Let us try to understand this problem. Y is 15 liters. So this is 15 liters. X is 6 liters. X is 6 liters. So 6 liter plus 15 liter would be equal to 21 liter. Of course, yes. And if I try to explain to you the acid equation that we had found before, with numbers it is easier to explain. Without numbers it becomes a bit difficult to explain, and that is why I'm requesting again that if you haven't understood this question well, just rewind and look at the solution again. Okay, let me explain what has happened here. See, now this is 90% of 6 liters. 90% of 6 liter, the amount of acid here is 90% into 6. The amount of acid here is 97 into 15. Again, I hope you are getting the logic. And if I see that the final solution that I have is 21 liters. In 21 liters, the amount of acid that I have is 95% of 21. 95% of 21. Of 21. This is the total solution. 21 liters is the total solution. 95% is its concentration. 15 liters is the total solution volume. 97% is the pure acid component. 6 liters is the total solution. 90% is the acid component. If you add these two, you should get this. Let us try to verify by making simple calculations. So these are the calculations. This is 5.4 liter. This is 14.55 liter. This is 19.95 liter. So the acid equation, which is the acid equation? All this that we had discussed, this is actually the acid component. This is what I am calling the acid equation. See, there are two equations in this question. One is the volume equation, which was x plus y is equal to 21. So x plus y is equal to 21 was the total volume equation, and this equation 90% of x plus 97% of y is equal to 95% of 21. This is the acid equation. I hope you are clear. Let us move on to the 7th question. 7th question is a bit simpler question to understand. Let us do this. Class 11 students wanted to give farewell party to class 12th. They decided to purchase two kinds of sweets, one costing 250 per kg, other costing 350 per kg. They estimated that 40 kg of sweet was needed. If total budget for the sweets was 11,800, find how much sweets of each kind were bought. Again, our old trick. Let us assume that x kg of first and y kg of second is brought. Just remember that our assumption is of mass, that is x kg. Now how does this help us? The first is one costing rupees 250 per kg. I have purchased x kg of this. The second costs 350 per kg. I have taken y kg of this. So my expenditure would be x kg into 250 rupees per kg plus y kg into 350 rupees per kg. I hope you are getting the logic. See, this is kg, this is rupees per kg. So finally this will be the amount. This will be in rupees. Again, this will be in rupees. So this will be our total expense. This will be the total expense. If the total budget for the sweets was 11,800, So this should be equal to 11,800 because this is the total budget. Their estimation is that 40 kg of sweets was needed. So if I have bought X of this and Y of this, the other equation that I have is X plus Y is equal to 40. So this is my equation 1. This is my equation 2. I need to solve these two equations. Simplest way of solving this is take X from here and put this value here. I hope you have got it. Let us start. So I have X is equal to 40 minus Y. I put it here. So it will be 40 minus Y into 250 plus 350 Y would be equal to 11,800. Try to solve this equation. Let me explain what I have done. So whenever you see such big equations, always try to cancel the common factors. So the first thing that I did was I cancelled 10 from both the sides. Second thing that I did was I took 5 common from both sides. So 5 5 the 25, 5 7 the 35, 5 2 the 10, 5 3 the 15, 5 6 the 30. So basically, if you understand, from this equation I actually took 50 common from both sides. Yeah. So my equation became 200 minus 5y plus 7y is equal to 236. I need to solve this. Simpler to solve. So y is equal to 18 kg and x is equal to 22 kg. So this is my answer. If you want to verify this, multiply this 18 by 250. Sorry, multiply this by 250 and multiply 18 by 350. Your answer should be this. That is how you correct. That is how you can check. Let us move on to the next question. Okay, again a bit tricky. Mr. and Mrs. Ahuja weigh x kg and y kg respectively. Okay, so Mr. Ahuja weighs x kg and Mrs. Ahuja weighs y kg. See, in all these equations, if you are not able to understand the first time, you need to read the word problem 3 or 4 times. There are times when the word problems become tricky. So Mr. Ahuja is x kg and Mrs. Ahuja is y kg. Okay, fine. They both take a dieting course at the end of which Mr. Ahuja loses 5 kg. Okay. So I'll jot the information. Here. So this is Mr. Ahuja. This is Mr. Ahuja and this is Mrs. Ahuja. This is Mrs. Ahuja. Now at the start he weighed x and she weighed y. Okay, they started dieting course. Mr. Ahuja loses 5 kg, so Mr. Ahuja becomes x minus 5 and weighs as much as his wife weighed before the course. Okay, so x minus 5 is equal to y. I hope it is clear. Mrs. Ahuja loses 4 kg. Okay, after the course Mrs. Ahuja weighs y minus 4 because she has lost 4 kg and weighs 7/8 of what her husband weighed before the course. So y minus 4 would be equal to what? 7/8 of what her husband weighed before the course. Her husband weighed x kg before the course, the dieting course. So y minus 4 would be equal to 7/8 of x. I hope it is clear. Form two equation. We have formed two equations to find their ways before taking the dieting course. So these are the two equations that we need. This is equation 1. This is equation 2. Now, if need be, I can solve them also. So just try to solve them. From here, what I can form is 8y minus 32. 8y minus 32 is equal to 7x. This is my equation 2. Now, if I need to solve this, I take the value of x. X would be equal to y plus 5. I'll take this value of x and I'll put it in this equation number 2. Equation number 2 I'll write here again 8y minus 32. 8y minus 32 is equal to 7x. I'll put the value of x is equal to y plus 5. Y plus 5. I can solve this for y. So 8y minus 32 is equal to 7y plus 35. Therefore, y is equal to 60 kgs. This is y, and x would be equal to, see, x would be equal to y plus 5. Y plus 5. So this will be equal to 72 kg. Again, if you want to check, so 67 kg, 72 kg, x is Mr. Ahuja, 67 kg is Mrs. Ahuja. Mr. Ahuja lost 5 kg. So he became 67. As Mrs. Ahuja was before the dieting, I hope you are getting it. Mrs. Ahuja, she was Y. How much has she lost? She loses 4 kg. She becomes 64 kg. Now 64 kg is 7/8 of what Mr. Ahuja was before the dieting. So I think I have made a small mistake. Mrs. Ahuja loses 4 kg. She has lost 4 kg. So this should become 63. This should be equal to 63. Sorry for this. This is equal to 63. So 8, 9 the and 9, 7 the 63. So our answer is correct. So this is a good practice that after you have found the solution, you should try to put the data in the word problem and try to get the solution again. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Part of monthly expenses of a family is constant. So part of the expense is constant and the remaining part varies with the number of members in the family. Okay. So this part varies with the number of members of the family. Okay. For a family of 4 persons, the total monthly expenses is 10,400. Whereas for a family of 7 persons, the total expenses are 15,800. Find the constant expense per month and the monthly expense on each member of the family. As I have been telling you again and again, whatever is asked in the last line, just assume that. So find the constant expenses per month. Let me assume that the constant expenses per month is rupees C per month. And the monthly expenses on each member is rupees M per person. This is what I'll assume. We'll have the answer again. We'll have the answer first. If you still have doubts, just rewind and look at the video again, and I guarantee that you'll understand. Okay. So for a family of 4 persons, the total monthly expenses are 10,400. Okay. If there are 4 persons, the expenses can be divided into, one is the fixed part. The fixed part is this rupees C. This will remain fixed. The second part is the variable part. The variable part depends upon the number of persons. So for example, in this case, if the number of persons are 4 and we assume that this variable part is rupees M per person, so in a family of 4 persons, the total variable part would be rupees M into 4 is equal to 4M. I hope you understand. Now C is the fixed part, 4M is the variable part, and C plus 4M is equal to 10,400. I hope you are getting what I am trying to tell you. Have a look at this again. This is the fixed part. This is the variable part. This is the total expense, total expenditure. This equation is for a family which has 4 persons. Just remember this. Once we have the answer, I'll show you again how it works. So don't worry about it. Just keep watching. Whereas for a family of 7 persons, now again, if I have a family which has 7 persons, one part would be fixed. Fixed would remain rupees C. This part remains fixed. The second part is the variable part. The variable part depends upon the number of family members. So this will be equal to rupees M into how many members are there? 7. So this will become 7M. The second equation that I will have is C plus 7M would be equal to 15,800. This is my second equation. I need to solve this equation and this equation. Simplest way of solving this is if I do 2 minus 1, because if I do 2 minus 1, what I have is 7M minus 4M is equal to 15,800 minus 10,400, for a simple reason that this part and this part will get cancelled when I am subtracting the two equations. This implies that 3M would be equal to 5,400. Therefore M would be equal to 1,800. Now this part is my variable part. And how do I get the fixed part? I can use this equation, C plus 4M. I can use this equation, C plus 4M is equal to 10,400. C would be equal to 10,400 minus 4m is equal to 10,400 minus 4 into 1800. So my C would be equal to 10,400 minus 8 4 the 32, 7,200. My C would be equal to 3,200. Now once we have this answer, let us look at the situation again. Let us look at the situation of this 7% family. Now you will understand what is happening. Look at this 7% family. Look at the expenses. This 7% family has two kind of expenses. One expense is the fixed. The fixed is given by C. This is the constant. So this will remain 3,200 rupees. There is a variable. The variable part depends upon the number of persons. The variable part is equal to 1800. If it is a family of 7 people, so the variable part will be equal to 1800 into 7. If I add these two, the answer that I will get will be equal to 15,800 rupees. 15,800, because this is equal to 12,600 rupees. So 3,200 plus 12,600 is equal to 15,800. I hope you are able to get the logic. If you are not, please watch the video again. Okay, let's move on to the next question. A taxi charges in a city consist of fixed charges together with a charge for distance covered. For a distance of 10 km, the charge paid is rupees 315, and for a journey of 15 kilometers, the charge paid is rupees 465. What are the fixed charges and the charge per kilometer? Again, I am suggesting you, whatever is being asked, assume that. The fixed charges, assume it to be F. Charge per kilometer, let us assume it to be K. Now let's read the question again. The taxi charges in a city consist of fixed charges, F. This is fixed, rupees F is fixed, together with a charge for the distance covered. We have assumed that charge to be K. So K is equal to rupees K per kilometer, because this is depending upon the distance which is covered. Let me explain further. For a distance of 10 km, so when the person is covering 10 kilometers, see what happens. The bill that he will get is fixed plus variable. The fixed part will remain as rupees F. The variable part is this. This depends upon per kilometer. So for 10 kilometer, this needs to be multiplied by 10. I hope you are getting the logic. So this will be equal to F plus 10K. I am ignoring the rupees, and we understand that the bill amount in this case is rupees 315. It is mentioned here. So this is my equation 1. Following the same logic for 15 kilometers, the fixed amount will remain F. There will be a variable amount which will depend upon the kilometer covered. Kilometer covered is 15. So this will be the total bill, and this will be equal to rupees 465. I hope the logic is getting clearer. This is equation number 2. Again, easy way of solving these two equations is if you do 2 minus 1. Why? Because this F will get cancelled on both sides. So try to do this. 15k minus 10k would be equal to 465 minus 315. 5k would be equal to 150. K would be equal to 30. Now this K is this charge per kilometer. This is the per kilometer charge. This is rupees per kilometer. Once I have K, I can calculate the fixed charge. Fixed charge, I can use this equation. This is an easier equation to use. Using this, what I get, 315 is equal to F plus 10k. 10k is 300. Therefore, F is equal to 15 rupees. This is the fixed amount. This is the fixed amount. Let us relook at the question. The fixed amount that I have got is 15 rupees. The per kilometer amount that I have got is 30 rupees per kilometer. 30 rupees per kilometer. If I take example 1, that is case 1, distance of 10 kilometer. For distance of 10 kilometer, this will remain same. This will remain 15 rupees. But this factor will become 30 into 10, 300 rupees. Therefore, bill amount would be 315.